the line, we bring to you Texas Rangers manager Bruce Bochy. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How we doing, fellas?
We're doing pretty well. I know the big win last night, but is it fair to say that felt overshadowed by the Josh Jung injury, or is that a too dramatic way to put it?
Yeah, it was really tough to lose Josh. I mean, it's hard to enjoy a win when you lose one of your guys, and especially Josh with all he's been through. Now he's going to have to go through it again, but he'll be back. You know, we talked to him after the game and say, hey, yeah, you'll be back. It's just no bump in the road, unfortunately. Meanwhile, we got to hold ground. We got some guys that can fill in until he gets back, and that's how we have to look at it. We did it all last year. No reason why we can't this year.
Is it too early to say, hey, we think it's going to be 8 weeks, or do you guys have a general time frame of return for Josh Jung?
I'd say closer to 6 weeks is what we're kind of looking at.
When you
don't know exactly. It is his throwing arm, but I'm guessing 6 weeks.
You mentioned talking to Josh Jung last night after the injury. How down was he? Because I'm sure last year I remember the thumb and then the calf to start spring training. It just seems like he's just really unlucky with these things lately.
Yeah, well, we call it buzzard luck. That's how bad it's been, and I think he was probably as good as he could be. I mean, he didn't say anything. That's how down he was. He was just so quiet. He's a guy that talks all the time, and he's got so much energy. But this one got him, I think, and I think mainly because he got hurt the first day of spring training, and he just got back. Here he's got to go through another rehab. But like I said, you got to put it behind you. There's nothing we can do about it. Nothing he can do about it. Just keep working, and he'll be back here in 6 weeks or so. It's a long season, and knock on wood, he'll stay healthy the rest of the way.
Hey, Boch, I'm pretty pissed off about this Josh Jung thing still, and I kind of might need a little guidance from you here, because I felt after hitting 2 guys, you don't need the opportunity to hit a 3rd guy in a row. But do I need to be talked off the ledge, or should I still be kind of ticked off about how things went last night?
Well, I mean, one guy was hit with a breaking ball in the foot. He was trying to throw a 2-seamer, and Josh did swing at the pitch, so. Yeah, I know everybody's going to look at it. Well, is this done on purpose? Do you like it? No, nobody likes it. Bases loaded. They're still somewhat in the game when Dolly got hit. But hey, fortunately, we're going to hit guys too. It's not always on purpose. Do you like to see it? No. Well, no, nobody does. But it's a case where you try to read everything but what the situation is, and I don't think Josh thought he was throwing at him. I think Dolly was. Dolly was upset. Nobody likes to get hit, but Smitty got hit in the foot with bases loaded. Not Smitty, but Carter. So you take that.
Well, thank you. You did talk me off the ledge there, Bochy. Thank you very much. I was kind of curious your thought on the play last night from Wyatt Langford, wheeling around second base, wheeling around third, and saying, "Hey, nobody's there. I'm going for it right now." What do you think about that?
I loved it. It's an exciting play. They just got him. He's a good base runner, and plus he's got speed to go with that, and he's had great instincts. And he read it right. Pitcher did a good job of rebounding because he should have been there originally. Kind of reminded me of the play where they scored on the run where Leclerc wasn't covering home plate. He just couldn't get there in time. But their guy did. And, we looked at it in case we had to review it. But they got him. But you have to love how aggressive he was.
It seems like, Boch, you've been aggressive. It's only 4 games, but Carter yesterday was able to steal second base. We saw Adolis at home steal. It looks like you guys are going to be a little bit more aggressive on the bases. And I remember last year you talking to us in late August when we asked about it. You said, well, my team isn't maybe constructed to run as much as, possibly you'd want them to run.
Yeah, and what I'm talking about as much as anything is, you don't want the diminishing return effect where you're getting thrown out in a big situation or with a really good hitter up. But they're going to give it to you. And one thing we've talked about is, hey, we're going to run if it makes sense. Now, if the guy out there he's throwing the ball to home plate in 1.1 seconds, well, we're not going to run. But we do pick our spots. We do have speed, including Langford. He can steal a base. He's taken off 2 or 3 times already this season. Carter can get you a base. So it's all about being smart. Now, if you look at them last night, they tried to steal third there. We threw them out. That's a huge play. I mean, big out there. The guy walked. It would have been first and third, but Jonah made a great throw, threw him out. That's what I'd like to stay away from.
Now, since Evan Carter got brought up, I know early in the season you'll see all kinds of wacky numbers and everything, but his really stands out to me, and it shows his amazing plate discipline. He hasn't got a hit yet, but his on-base percentage is almost 400. That is wild to me.
Really is. It just shows you his discipline at the plate. I think he's getting a little tired of walking once a few hits. So, and that's going to be human nature, especially for a young kid like this to start getting a little antsy to get that first hit. So I think as long as he stays within himself, draws his walks, that works. He's getting on base. He's giving the speed. He's still a base. Keeps the rallies going. So I don't want him to start pressing to the point where he feels like he's got to start getting hits. They will come. To stay with the game plan going up there and lay off the bad pitches, get a good pitch to hit, and the hits will come. But sometimes when you don't have one to start the season, it's just magnified. You're looking up there and that batting average is 0. But, if you look at our park, though, they go more on base. So that's got to make them feel a little bit better.
This was a very well-disciplined lineup last year, third in the American League, third in Major League Baseball in walks. And early, y'all have been drawing a bunch of walks. What have you thought about the early look of plate discipline from the lineup?
I love it. These guys are not going outside the strike zone. They're doing what we want them to do. Try to get a good pitch, but if not, just take the walk. The guy next to you, you got to believe in him, and he'll do something. If not, he walks. And you saw what happened last night. The first 2 guys, we get on base via walk, and they make a mistake. Josh hits a 3-run homer. So we had 3 runs with 1 hit. That works. So let's stay with this approach and take our bases when they give them to us.
The Dane Dunning, I had really high hopes for him this year, Boch, and he looked really good last night. That 7th inning, I'm trying to figure out what your thoughts are into a 7th inning with him or where he is there. But what were you feeling from Dunning's outing last night?
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He lost his command a little bit at times, but they had good movement, good sync. Really, I thought he had a good breaking ball too. 7th inning, probably running out of bullets there. Went pretty quick on them, but we were trying to get them as far as we could because of our bullpen situation. We're trying to stay away from using all our guys there late in the ball game. So it was good that Robertson went in there, went inning plus, and then when we broke the game open, Berkey finished it. So we're getting our bullpen back in order, and that's because of Dane Dunning.
Do you think with Dane that there is more room for growth there, and there is more of a distance to go with him? Like he can be able to finish those games out?
Oh, I think there's always room for growth. Especially with the stamina part of it early in the season. That's pretty good that he got us in the 7th inning. Did get a couple of balls up, but the second home run actually. That he wanted to try to beat him there, but you give him credit. But I think Dane's a guy eventually can give you 200 innings. That's how good I think he can be, which is a rare deal, but it's something you need from, I usually say at least from 1 starter, if not 2, to keep the bullpen in order. And I think he can be one of those guys.
Boch, Leclerc hasn't been able to execute his pitches consistently yet in his just 2 appearances. Is it a mechanical thing? Was it something mechanical that's causing him to be a little bit erratic to start the year?
Yeah, we've been talking about him. I think a little bit, especially on the arm side. Sometimes, you try to make that perfect pitch too much. So that's a mindset. And, I'd like to see him just attack the zone a little bit more. But when you're missing like he was on the arm side now, you could be just opening up a little too much. But ironically, he's fine on the other side. And so these are things that, Mike and I are talking about, and I think it's only going to get better with him. But, we got to stay behind him. He's going to be one of our guys, and it's good that he had the day off yesterday, so he should be fine to go today. And, he's a pro, and he's got to adjust now. He's seen what happened. What gets him in trouble is sometimes I think he drops his guard with 2 outs and he ends up walking a guy or 2, to stay on the attack here.
Do you watch the body language then too? Because sometimes it seems like that really hurts him.
Yeah, he's pretty calm out there, but I think sometimes he does get frustrated when he doesn't hit a spot, and he's tough on himself. I'll say that, and so that is an area I think he's got to get a little better, which we all do when things aren't going right, and don't start compounding the problem.
Marcus Simeon told Emily Jones the other day that he could see the Rangers potentially getting together every 10 years to celebrate the World Series. And I know you guys are no doubt going to focus on the Rays and focus on the season and try to put last year in the past. But I was hoping you could give us a little something. What do you think when you hear something like that, hey, 10 years from then and then 10 more years there, I'll want to keep getting together?
I tell you, that's what you love about, what just happened is, these are lifetime memories, and you get to get back together and have that reunion and talk about the season and, catching up with everybody. 10 years from now, I'll be up there pretty good, knock on wood. I get to make that one. But to be serious, yeah, that's what you love is how close these guys are, and what a tight-knit group. And for Marcus to mention that, I think it shows you, this is a team, and these guys care about each other, and they are looking forward to down the road, having that celebration.
Boch, last question for you. Did we screw up your fishing today? And when you're in Tampa, what are we fishing for?
Yeah, I didn't go out. I did walk around the docks. I was hoping to find a little boat with the captain that were to make some money, just run me out there for a couple hours. But, yeah, it's mostly sailboats. I did find one, but he was taking his family out. So I told Mike Maddox if I find somebody, I'd give him a call. But I did walk around 2 days in a row early in the morning, and I started to get some bait and fish. I was going to fish on the pier last night, but we had to huddle up after Jung's injury, and so I got back late, and I couldn't do it. But what you catch here, speckled trout, snook, redfish, it's really great fishing in this area, especially this time of year. It's not too hot yet. It's enjoyable to be out there. I actually wish we had a day off here, or I would have hired a guide.
That's the way to do it.
That is fantastic. Thank you very much. I hope Josh Jung knows that all the Metroplex is rooting for him to get back ASAP, and that mentally he feels good as well. So thank you very much for your time.
Well, thank you. And yeah, he's back there, and I don't know if he's listening, but that's very much appreciated. And it's tough for the kid, but I'll keep saying it. He'll be back helping us before long.
Thank you very much, good sir. We'll catch you next week.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Bye, Boch.